Hi, kings and queens. Taronic here, master weaver of mystery suspense thrillers, as well as broadcaster of astrology. First, I'd like to thank you for being here with me today, lending me your ears, your eyes, and your time. I know it is valuable. Therefore, I will be sharing valuable information with you that will help you to navigate the week's upcoming challenges, my Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising people. Now, remember, this is a weekly update, so it ranges from today until the 31st of July, ending our month. If you know your Sun, Moon, and Rising sign, I implore you to check every video because it paints a clearer picture of what you'll be dealing with in its entirety this week. If you don't know your Sun, Moon, and Rising, you can always contact me at mentalchattermusings@gmail.com and have your chart analyzed, or you can even get a tarot reading. In addition to that, I'm also available via Facebook Messenger. Now, this week is the last week of all June, July. Celebrating this week, I will be gifting a few readers copies of the illustrious Joan Vassar's work. We have 2 autographed copies of her works available, and that would be unfortunately Francine and Black, as well as another audio book giveaway available as well. So we'll have 3 lucky readers, 3 lucky winners this week. Now, in addition to that, great news this week, my newest psychological thriller releases, giving you a little bit of love as well as a taste of the paranormal. I'm so excited to introduce my first traditionally published novel, Deadliest Intuition. It can be found on all platforms, including Audible. I encourage you to read and review. Of course, it is the bookish thing to do. And for those of you who have already purchased a copy of Deadliest Intuition, I thank you. I can't wait to hear what you think. Now, Deadliest Intuition's purchase link can always be found on my Facebook page at author Taronic. And I'll also be posting a sneak peek this week. Now, remember that on Friday, you can tap into Freestyle Friday with the Facebook group I See You Reading and Chatting. Authors give you their impromptu freestyles according to a subject of the lady's choosing. If you like to participate in Freestyle Friday as an artist, you can actually contact Ebony Evans, the president of I See You Reading and Chatting Book Club. And you can contact her via Facebook, of course. Now let's get into it. It's officially Leo season, kings and queens. So it's time, this is the time that the sun moves through romance, play, children, creativity, and things like that. And in comes Mercury as well, making this not only the spotlight, but all the chatter. This week also, Jupiter makes its transition back into Aquarius, which is great for you because it will be trining. You know, this is your area of long distance travel, education, and skills. What you think and what you preach, that's being aspected with luck and expansion. So whatever you think and preach is going to be blasted out. It can expand, okay? It could reach long distances, enhancing your image in the area of romance, in the area of creative projects, and also with your children. Now let's look at, it's going to ease restrictions for you as well in that area. So it's going to come out of your career sector and it's going to start easing restrictions for you that you've been having as far as communicating with people at a distance from you, getting your philosophy out long distances, your education and skills and things like that. If you have any placements within 3 degrees of the degree that I mentioned, this will impact you. Whatever trends that I'm talking about will impact you more so. Okay, so pay attention to those degrees, especially if you're comparing it to your chart. Now on Sunday, the 29th, the sun is in Leo at 2 degrees. This is a day that you want to have faith that things will work out for you. Okay, but faith without works is definitely dead in the water. And work without faith. So you need to have both. You need to stay on task and you need to uphold whatever values that you have in every aspect today. That's important for you to do, Gemini. Now, if you have any aspects between 0 and I would say 5 degrees Leo, this is going to impact you more so in the area of communication, siblings, short distance travel, your networks of people, neighborhoods, and things like that. Okay, have faith that things will work out, and make sure that you put in the work that you need to put in, and uphold your values. Okay, as it pertains to that area, because you don't want to have any struggles or strife, especially behind the scenes with people causing issues for you. I'm sorry. Now, on Monday, the 26th, the sun is in Leo at 3 degrees. If you have any aspects between 0 and 6 degrees, this will aspect you more so. Okay, what you've been waiting for could actually show up on that day. It could even be something that you've been plotting for to show up. Patience pays off for some of you on Monday. If you have any placements between 0 and 6 degrees Leo, I would say Aries, Sagittarius, Libra, or Gemini. And I'll tell you why. Now, this is about your communication skills, short distance travel, your networks of people, maybe even your siblings, okay, neighbors and contacts, people you talk to on a regular basis. You could have offers coming to you as far as, say you've been trying to talk to this guy or this girl for the longest. Now you'll have the opportunity to talk to them. Now you have the opportunity to go out with them. Now you have the opportunity to communicate with them. You'll have that assistance and opportunity, whether it's for romantic, relating to romance, whether it's relating to creative endeavors, or even whether it's, even you just having opportunity, a chance to chop it up with a sibling, spend time with a sibling, have fun with them. You have that aspect in you on Monday. Okay. Now, as far as the blessings that could come your way, that's going to have to do with your goals, your social contacts, communicating with people, as far as goals and social contacts, in your relationships, you forging relationships with people around you, whether it's a sibling, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's people in community, some type of goal that you've been trying to accomplish, maybe even within a relationship with a sibling or a social contact. Maybe even your siblings or your neighbors are now, reaching out to you, helping you to accomplish goals. Maybe relationships bode well for you to help you get the assistance that you need in throughout the community and things like that. But any of those things could be aspected and happening for you on Monday. Now, as far as Tuesday, the sun is at 4 degrees. Okay, it's 4 degrees Leo. There's a very competitive vibe in the air on that day. So you want to keep things on the up and up. You might find that some people go the underhanded route on that day, but it bodes well for you to remember that cheaters never prosper, and neither do haters. Not for long. So, you want to be mindful of that on Tuesday and try to not air too much competitiveness. A healthy dose is fine, but you don't want to overdo it by going the underhanded route. Now, let's see that if you have any placements between, I would say 1 and 7 degrees Leo, this would be aspecting you. And your areas of friction are Taurus, behind the scenes, shocking communication and things like that. And in work, health, daily routines, and where you are of service to others as it pertains to that area. And that's your area of Scorpio. So you want to not be underhanded as it pertains to communication behind the scenes, gossiping, starting things, because it's definitely behind the scenes and it has to do with communication. Okay. And if it's prompting you not to be underhanded, you might want to watch what you say behind the scenes at work about somebody, putting out shocking gossip or things like that because of, you just wanting to be underhanded. You want to be mindful of that and not be putting that out there, because that could definitely come back to bite you. And those are your areas of friction, that you could possibly be doing that. Also, you want to watch out for maybe even someone talking about you behind the scenes at work. And then you'd be surprised to find out who it is that's defaming your name or something like that behind the scenes as it pertains to work, health, daily routines, siblings, communication with siblings, and your networks of people. Okay. You've got, Uranus there in the mix. So some shocking communication could come your way as far as someone talking about you or saying something about you at work, so you want to be mindful of both of those things. Don't you put that out there, and hopefully no one's putting that out there about you, but you could find that that's happening. Now, also on Tuesday, the 27th, Mercury is moving into Leo as well. That's your sector of communication and siblings, short distance travel, your networks of people on the 27th. So if you have any aspects between 0 and 3 degrees Leo, this could affect you more so. You could find your leadership capabilities are noticed, and recognition could come to you on that day, on Tuesday. So remain humble if it does, if you're hoisted into a position of power or recognition on Tuesday. Now, if that does happen for you, it's going to have to do with a relationship you harbor, communication within a relationship you harbor. And it has to do with your goals. It has to do with your social contacts and things like that. So from the 27th on, you could have, for those 30 days, blessings coming to you as far as the relationships you harbor. Okay. The contacts you have, your social contacts and groups, just, even goals you might want to accomplish with a sibling. You have that aspecting you for 30 days starting on the 27th. Okay. Now, if you have any assistance coming your way during this Leo season, Mercury and Leo, like communication and coming to you, it's going to have to do with romance, creative endeavors, and children. Okay. So, you communicating more with children, you communicating more with a romantic partner, or romance being offered to you through your neighbors and things like that, or people in your networks of people. You could find that they are fond of you. Let's see, people want to work with you as it pertains to creative endeavors and things like that. You'll find that as well during these next 30 days. Now, as far as friction, like I said, the only friction is going to be behind the scenes. Don't participate in any gossip. But it looks like, that gossip is definitely going to be aspecting you in that area. So whether you are the victim or the perpetrator, that's definitely aspecting. Okay. And it could be shocking to the person that you're doing this to, or it could be shocking to you as far as who's doing that to you. Okay. So you want to be mindful of that. Now let's go to Wednesday. Wednesday, that's the day that on the 28th, that Jupiter's going to move ingress back into Aquarius, your area of long distance travel, education and skills, what you think, what you preach. And with it coming back into that area, it's going to bring you luck as it pertains to things that you put out, luck as it pertains to your, I would say, like your creative endeavors and things like that, that you're putting out, what people think about them. Even at a distance, you'll be pulling people in with what you think and what you preach, your education, your skills, your philosophy, works that you put out, loans, applications that you put in, things like that. You have luck there aspecting you, making you look good to romantic partners, making you look good to creative prospects, making you look good to your children. Maybe even them listening to you. That's a great time for you to instill some gems into them, because, people will be listening to you at this time, starting on Wednesday. In addition to that, you can forge relationships that help you to accomplish goals that you're trying to accomplish. And with Chiron there in Aries, it's relationships that you may have done something before, or fractured in some way, or the person may have fractured the relationships in some way, but likely it's because of what you think and what you preach. Maybe you said something. There's healing there now, okay? And opportunities could come your way through people who maybe you've wronged before, or you felt have wronged you because of words said, okay? So, that assistance is there for you. Now, let's see. As far as, you were having friction as far as at a distance from you behind the scenes as well with gossip and things like that. But now Jupiter's coming there and it's cooling that off. So if you have anything that pertains to education at a distance from you, or about what you think and preach that has to do with work, health, your daily routines and things like that, maybe even where you are of service to others, you have a luck aspecting there helping you now with things at a distance from you, or where you are of service to people at a distance from you. It could bring you some type of closure in where you've previously shockingly been having blockages to that closure coming in. Okay, now what you say can be more accepted, and taken in and considered. Okay, so that's great for you. And that's going to be aspecting you until the end of the year. You won't start having trouble with that again until next year. Okay, now as far as Thursday, the sun is in Leo at 4 degrees, or no, at 6 degrees, I'm sorry. So if you have any aspects between 3 and 9 degrees, this will affect you more so. That's a day that something can be accomplished for you on the 6th, Lord have mercy, on Thursday, the 28th or the 29th, I think, the 29th, okay? So if you accomplish something, it's going to have to do with communication coming your way. It could have to do with a sibling, a neighbor, neighborhoods, your networks of people you communicate with all the time. A goal could be accomplished through a relationship on that day. So lucky you. Okay, and it could have to do with romance, creative endeavors, or something to have to do with your children, even a goal being accomplished within a relationship. All right, now that's aspecting you on Thursday. In addition to that, at the same time, I want to let you know that you want to be very careful on Thursday, as far as Mercury is going to move on that day. I mean, not Mercury, Mars is going to move on that day. And it's moving into your sector of home and family. Okay. So you want to be very mindful of communication, how you communicate with your siblings, how you communicate with your family members, how you communicate with your networks of people that you are in contact with on a regular basis. Okay. That you deal with on a regular basis, maybe even over the internet. You want to be conscious of that. Watch your step. Okay. Don't be gossiping about people behind the scenes, starting things like that, because it could come back to bite you. That's an accident prone day. That's a day where you can mess up in a slip of the tongue and say something about somebody. That's just something you want to just be mindful of during Mars in Virgo. Okay. And like I said, on Thursday, it's going to come there. If you have any aspects in Virgo between, I would say, 0 and 3 degrees, maybe even going back into Leo up to 28 degrees, you want to be very, very mindful of you gossiping about people or saying less than favorable things about others. Okay. Let's see. That's going to create some challenges for you in home and family as well. The challenges that it creates for you in home and family is going to be your relationships that you have within home and family, or people that you might be close to you. How people call people sis and bro, things like that. You just want to be mindful not to mess up your relationships. All right. Now, as far as Mars coming there, you're going to have to put more energy into your relationships as well. Okay. You're going to find that your relationships with home and family, you're going to have to work harder, put more energy there. You're going to have to, as far as the energy that you put in behind the scenes, as far as shared finances, that can bode well for you. If you've been putting a lot of energy and effort into, behind the scenes, as far as trying to create some shared finances for the family, that could pop up for you. But it's going to pop up after you've like put in a tremendous amount of work. You know, you're going to have to really put some work in, exert some energy as far as the things you're passionate about as it pertains to money and home and family. If you want to garner those shared finances, whether it's taxes, inheritance, insurance, you know, whatever the case may be. Okay. Because this is going to be, you know, this is to be trining Mars. So you can get some shocking blessings if you put the work in. Now, as far as your assistance while Mars is here, your assistance is going to come in after you've worked hard for it, as far as gathering resources for home and family, as well as money. But like I said, this is going to be something you've worked for through either work, health, daily routines, you being of service to others, you trying to gather resources for even health is aspecting, you trying to gather resources for the health of a family member or a pet. You're going to have to put work into that if you're going to afford those assistance and opportunities, because you could find that it's harder to come by. It's harder for you to garner. Okay. So you want to be mindful of that. When Mars is in Virgo, you want to be mindful of destroying your image. Okay. Because it's squaring your area of self and image, how you look to people, how you're perceived by others. You want to be very careful of not messing that up for you. If you're a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, you want to be conscious of that. Now, I would say on Thursday, okay, we talked about that Virgo. Don't overdo it on that day either. If you're going to a shindig on the 29th, don't overdo it with the food or drink. Don't overdo it with overspending, trying to impress people. You want to be mindful of that too, because that's going to be a sociable day. Now, that's going to aspect you for a 30-day period that you're going to be dealing with that Virgo, Mars and Virgo, okay? And all those things we just talked about. Now, as far as on Friday, this is a single transit. The sun is in Leo at 7 degrees on that day. If you have any aspects between 4 and I would say 11 degrees, this is going to aspect you more so. Okay, this is a day to tap into your spiritual awareness. In fact, it's a perfect time for meditation, just for you to listen to your intuition and your intuitive downloads as it pertains to home and family. As it pertains to siblings, people within your networks, communication, neighbors, and things like that. Listen to your intuition. Maybe you even want to get out in nature on that day. You know, hug a tree, get by some water, and allow those intuitive downloads to come into you if you decide to meditate out there. Now on Saturday, the sun is in Leo at 8 degrees. That's a day where you should avoid arrogance, okay? There will be enough of it floating around, especially if you have any placements between 5 and 11 degrees Leo. Exhausting your resources to impress people comes with a price, okay? So you want to be mindful of that. Also, there's another transit that I was meaning to say something about. On the 31st, the asteroid Ceres, it's about fostering and like fertility, parenting, adoption, and things like that. It moves into your sign at 0 degree. It's a harmonious degree for communicating with children and siblings and even friends, which makes even more sense for you with the sun in that area as well of, communicating with siblings and people in your networks and things like that. A goal can be achieved for you in literature or education on Saturday, the 31st. So be looking out for that, especially if you have any placements in Gemini between 0 and 3 degrees. Okay. And that will go for placements you have between 0 and 3 degrees of Aquarius and Libra as well. That'll bring you blessings as far as romance, creative endeavors, and children. And it could bring you assistance as it pertains to communication as far as your goals. Okay, people helping you to accomplish your goals. Now let's talk about what is your cards for this this week. Now, as far as your cards for this week, what's aspecting you is celebrations, or what you're looking for is celebrations with friends and community. The 3 represents accomplishments and healing, maybe even a connectedness, a renewal of a friendship. Relationships can strengthen, okay? Bonds can strengthen, and creativity also flourishes. Childbirth could be indicated. New projects could be indicated as well. If you're, looking to have a kid or work on a creative project, you could feel rejuvenated either way, and appreciating the beauty that's surrounding you. Now, as far as your cards, you had some conflicts going on because the first card that came out was the 5 of Swords, okay? And the 5 of Swords talks about tension, conflict, loss, wanting to win at all costs. It's a card that suggests that a current problem you face doesn't have a variable solution, and you might be wasting energy trying to succeed. It's a time that you might want to leave a situation and admit defeat, or just move on. Continuing to struggle only makes things worse. As a side note, debt and poverty could be indicated, so be careful not to exhaust your financial resources. Choose your battles wisely. That's what the 5 of Swords card tells you, to choose your battles wisely as it pertains to, whatever you have going on. You would know better than I would. Clarifying that you have the 8 of Wands. So that indicates that some type of fast communication is coming in. Some type of good news is coming in. Maybe it's easing that conflict and that strife that you've been having. But it's about action, speed, travel, swift changes, movement, opportunities. So you could also be traveling. You could be moving quickly away from these challenges or this strife, realizing that it's not worth fighting. I'm just going to move away from this, so you could have fast communication come your way that prompts you to move away from a conflict or a strife. Okay, but either way, you have that aspect in you this week. Now, also, you got the 7 of Wands card, and the 7 of Wands talks about challenges, perseverance, strength. Your goals are worth pursuing, and it sees you submitting yourself at the top of a hill, having faith over a long stretch of time that your 9 of Pentacles will come in, that you will experience a time of luxury again, a time of gratitude, a time of harmony with family, neighbors, people you deal with. This is what you're submitting yourself at the top of a hill about: money. Okay, you're wanting this money to come in, and the cards are asking you to sustain your faith, okay, to keep the faith, basically. Okay, now you've also have the Queen of Wands. Now this could be you if you're an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or this just could be a person that you're dealing with this week. And this talks about, the Queen of Wands talks about warmth, exuberance. The Queen has the qualities of creativity and clarity, even integrity, and she inspires those around her. She's a thoughtful hard worker. She's independent and self-assured and even honest. This could be a new inspiring influence entering your life this week, or somebody supporting you or lending you wisdom within creative endeavors. And this could be something that you've been worried about, something you've been having sleepless nights about, something that you've been having maybe even nightmares or severe depression or anxiety about. You could be on the verge of falling apart due to stress or anxiety. A constant battle could be threatening your health. Maybe this Queen of Wands person could come in and they could help you or enlighten you as far as what is going on with you. So if you are not the Queen of Wands, then somebody could enter your life this week that could help you with that. Okay. Or there could be somebody in your life that is a Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising to help you with that. Now, in addition to that, you're called upon this week to use your intuition, okay? To use your higher powers of the mind, because you have a lot of options at your disposal, okay? With things coming at you this week. And with these options coming to you this week with the 7 of Cups, that talks about not over admiring your circumstances, not getting your head lost in the mists. Let fantasy take a back seat, because the obvious choice might not be the best choice, okay? Use your intuition. All right, as it pertains to choosing the right thing this week. Now, that could have to do with a new friend coming in, a new romantic partner coming in. That could have to do with a new home coming in, aspecting you, because you have the Chariot card. And the Chariot card talks about forging forward. Now, it could have to do with a Cancer person, sun, moon, or rising, or it could simply have to do with you forging forward towards something that has to do with a home or home and family. You know, you could have new inspiring influences coming into your life, as far as love and as far as friends. But remember that if it's as far as love and you're forging towards somebody fast to get with them, it's probably going to be a fling. Okay, because the Knight of Cups talks about short-lived romances and things like that. So be mindful of who you're forging toward, to have relationships, or people might be forging towards you quickly to try to forge relationships with you, but it will likely be short-lived or a fling. So be mindful of that. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's update. Gemini, sun, moon, or rising. Navigate the week. I would tell you to navigate the week with compassion and also foresight as to your endeavors. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who you feel can help you. Okay? All right. God bless you. I'll see you next week.